10 at night when I'm tired, I've got period pains, I should really just go to sleep. But for some reason, I'm starting A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is gonna be a ride. Hello my loves, I hope you're all doing well. I thought I would give an update on A Court of Wings and Ruin because this is A Court of Wings and Ruin reading vlog. Today is one of those days where I'm going to be so lazy. It's a hoodie, joggers, drink tea and read kind of day. If you haven't got yourself a cup of tea, go grab one, or a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, but if coffee's your thing, go grab yourself a cup of coffee. Go make yourself a little latte, cappuccino, whatever floats your boat. A Court of Wings and Ruin. I started it, as you saw, at 10:30 last night, and I have read the first part. So I'm now on part 2, which is entitled Curse Breaker, as you can see. This is my penguin light bookmark that I got for Christmas, and I'm utterly obsessed with it. So this means I'm on chapter 11, which is page 99. So I'm 100 pages in, and I wanted to give you like a 100-page update. My thoughts, my feelings, how are we doing? I am instantly gripped. Like, instantly. I'm hooked. I don't remember having this feeling when I read the beginnings of ACOTAR or ACOMAF. I don't remember being instantly hooked the way that I am with acowar. I used to find Feyre kind of annoying, but I am loving her so far. She is so sneaky and so like switched on and schemy, but in like the best way, and I absolutely love it. I'm here for it. I am so happy because one of the things that I said at the end of my ACOMAF reading vlog was that I need answers for Lucy and Tamlin. Like in the whole of the first book, we build this relationship with these two characters, for that to then just be totally thrown on its head in the second book. But especially, like, specifically Lucian, he holds, and I don't know if this is controversial or an unpopular opinion in like the ACOTAR fandom, but he just holds a special place in my heart. There's a chord that is just specifically for him, and I don't want him to be bad. I'm not getting those vibes at the minute. He's just in my, like, the vibe that I'm getting is just like his best friend is Tamlin. They've been through so much together. He feels like he owes Tamlin a lot. Now that he's got a mate, and that mate is Elaine, which is Feyre's sister, he now obviously wants to get to her. But like, I don't know. How am I going to put this into words? I need him to be good. I need him to... I need him to be like, look, Feyre, I'm going to be honest. I did you dirty. I should have seen what you were going through while you were at the spring court with us, and I should have done something about it, and I'm sorry. That's what I need from him, because I feel like once that's done, and him and Feyre can patch that up, because I love their friendship. Their friendship is just like, I feel like they've been through stuff together, you know? And I need them to patch things up. There's a lot of this book left. A lot can happen. I'm worried that he's gonna betray me, betray them, betray everyone, break my heart and soul in the process. I'm genuinely afraid. Right now, we are very Feyre and Lucian focused. It's just the two of them at the minute, at the point at where I am in the book, and I'm looking forward to seeing their friendship evolve. However that may evolve, whether that means they'll get closer and grow, which I hope is the case, or whether it like crumbles into a million pieces and my heart along with it. I literally just plan, it's currently like 2:45 in the afternoon. I've been reading since like 10 o'clock. Well, no, not since 10 o'clock. I woke up at about 9:30, was reading from about 10, then I had some breakfast, started watching Our Flag Means Death. It's finally been released in the UK. And I absolutely love it. It's so good. I've watched 2 episodes so far. Luckily, all the episodes have been released as well on BBC Two. But I have been waiting for Our Flag Means Death to come to the UK for ages, for so long. And now it's here and I'm so happy. So, beautiful. I love it. It's just hilarious. It's so, so good. I also started The Tudors yesterday as well, which I've kind of come, like, the shows I'm currently watching are very period heavy. As in, like, so me and my boyfriend are currently watching Vikings together, which is phenomenal. Then I got into The Tudors, which is, again, very, very good. Highly recommend it. And now I'm watching Our Flag Means Death. Historical. I'm very into my historical stuff at the minute. And honestly, I don't know how you guys pronounce her name, but I've been pronouncing it as Ianthe? Her. She's basically Amarantha Part 2, and I'm not here for it, and I need her to exit stage left right now. Like, I need her to leave. And then we're finding a bit more about Durian, and I haven't been looking ahead in the book, but I am curious, are we going to get other perspectives? Because the book starts off 2 years before the wall's created in Rhysand's perspective. Oh, also, I will be calling him Rhysand from now on. I know in my 2 previous vlogs, if you watched them, I was calling him Rhysand. I don't know why. That's just where my head went to when I read the words. But I believe, because obviously it's Rhys is his name in short, so Rhysand. I will now be calling him Rhysand. I'm going to crack on with some more of this. I don't know how much I'm going to get through today. Another 100 pages would be great, but we shall see. We shall see. But I will keep you updated. Those last 2 chapters. I'm gagged. Did I cry? A little bit. So, like, the eyes were watering. The eyes were watering. The tears didn't fall, but they were there. They were there. They were present, and they were there. Like, my heart rate increased. Like, my heart quickened. And, like, my stomach, like, you know when you're so, like, you know when you're so excited but like anxious, and your tummy like clenches, but like in a good way. I don't even know if that makes sense, but That okay, spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't want to know what happens. Spoiler alert right now. So I'm obviously talking about, if you've read it, I'm talking about the reunion chapters. What was it, chapter 13 and 14, when Feyre is reunited with Rhysand and Mor and Cassian and Azriel, and when I say I got emotional, wow. It's like I forgot, like I completely understand the found family. And this is actually making me want to reread. It's actually there, don't know if you can see it. It's making me want to reread A Court of Mist and Fury, because a part of me was like, did I truly appreciate the found family in that book? I don't think I did. And I genuinely think that when I read Akamath, I think I was in a very different mindset when it came to reading and enjoying my books. I think it's taken me a while to really find myself and find my reading self again. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but this is a whole experience, and I feel like maybe I didn't give Akamath the chance that it truly needed. Because I do feel like my reading, I don't say reading taste, it's not my reading taste has changed, but the way that I consume books now compared to 4 months ago when I read it, I do feel like it's different. I feel like I can truly immerse myself in my books now. I'm like shaken. I'm shooketh and shakeneth, and I'm just so happy I only had to wait, I only had to wait 120 pages for the reunion. I was genuinely worried it was going to be like half the book, and they weren't going to be reunited until like page 400, but that wasn't the case. The gang is back together, and I'm ready for them to tear it up, to start a war, to start a riot. I'm ready. Give it to me. I'm here for it. This is good. I'm enjoying this. This is good. Update time. I'm sorry about how dark it is. I do apologise, but I just can't be bothered to turn a light on right now, I'm going to be honest. But update time on A Court of Wings and Ruin. I am pretty much halfway now. I am flying through this book, is the first thing that I want to say. Like, it took me a month to read A Court of Wings and Ruin. No, this is A Court of Wings and Ruin. It took me a month to read A Court of Mist and Fury. It took me the whole of July to read it. This, I think they're like similar in like length. I started this like at 10:30. Not yesterday, but the day before, but at 10:30 at night. It hasn't even been 48 hours yet, and I'm already halfway through this book. I am loving it. I am loving every single minute of it. Like, there has not been a point where I've wanted to like stop reading out of boredom. I had moments during the first 2 books, I remember like kind of reading it and being a bit like, like I'm not really invested in this right now, like I'm not, like there'll be moments where like my attention's brought back because something's happened, but there would be moments where I'd be a bit like uninterested, uninvested, you know, a bit bored. I have not had this at all with this book. I have been devouring every moment I've been reading it. I like the plot. I've heard they call this the Book of War. I completely get it. Like the strategy that's in this book is brilliant. The way that they are strategically planning this war is brilliant. And I am thoroughly impressed with Sarah J. Maas right now. Thoroughly impressed. I really do think the improvement from Court of Mist and Fury to this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. I have completely fallen in love with the found family in this series. This is generally making me want to reread A Court of Mist and Fury because I feel like maybe it just went over my head a little bit. I don't know, but the found family in this is beautiful. I love it. It's so strong in this book. It just, ugh. The relationship between the characters, like the couples as well. Like, I love Rhysand and Feyre. Like, they are meant for each other. I'm here for it. Nesta and Cassian, I know it's gonna happen, okay? And I'm down for it and I'm waiting for it, and they're building, you know? I can see the teasing happening between them. It's enemies, it's gonna be enemies to lovers with them, and I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. Lucian and Elaine, I want it to work. I really, really do. Because they're mates. They're bonded to each other. I really want it to work. I think they both just deserve a happy ending. Lucian, my boy, he is doing what I wanted him to do. He is making up for the wrongs he committed in the last book. He's doing it. He's making up for it. And I'm here for it. The friendship is building again between him and Feyre, and it's what I wanted. It is what I wanted. I want him to be happy. I want him to find happiness. And he wants that so desperately with Elaine. And Elaine, oh bless her soul. She has been through so much. She is so traumatised. She just needs a gentle hand. And don't get me wrong, Nesta is doing everything she can to protect Elaine. But at the same time, like, let the girl breathe. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want Lucian and Elaine to work. I really, really do, and I hope they do. And there is currently like a little connection between Elaine and Asriel, and I get it. Totally get it, but at the same time, Asriel and Moore, I have not felt such frustration between a couple in such a long time. I think the last time I felt this kind of frustration was with Kaz and Inej in Six of Crows. Just love each other. Like, they do love each other, but just be together. Like, you would make each other so happy. Oh, just be each other's happiness, please. The romance, the couples in this book, top tier coupling, and I just want everybody to be happy. At the end of this, is if Feyre and Rhysand wrap up happy, I will be happy, because obviously that would be their arc nicely finished and completed. But I also want my other couples to be happy. Let them be happy. That's all I want, Sarah J. Maas. Let them be happy. I am now at a part in the book where the plot has picked up. Not that it kind of needed picking up, but all of the building that has been taking place in the first half of the book, it's now coming to its like crescendo. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's elevating, it's escalating, action is happening, and I'm on now chapter 36, which is page 354, and has hit the fan. It's flying, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the action, but for my characters, it's bad, but for the action and the plot, it's good. I honestly think if this book keeps going the way it's currently been, if the second half is just as good as the first half, this can definitely be a 5 out of 5. This can so easily be a 5 out of 5 for me, and I hope it will be. I hope I continue to read this and it continues to be a 5 out of 5, because it is currently a 5 out of 5. And I'm so happy I didn't DNF this series. I'm so happy I didn't DNF it. I'm going to get ready to head to my boyfriend's, and I will be bringing this book with me. Do not worry about that. It feels so good to be invested in a book again. I have not had this investment. I don't know, it feels like it's been a while. It feels good. I'm getting the emotions that I got when I would read the Fallen series or the Mortal Instruments series years ago in my early teens. I'm getting those like excited adrenaline butterflies in my tummy. Oh, and it's been so long since I felt that. This is good. I'm enjoying this. And it's making me excited to read more of her work. I know Throne of Glass will not be the same. At least I know the early books won't be the same because I'm pretty sure she was like 16 when she started that series. So I do think I'm going to have to take the first 2 or 3 books in that series with a pinch of salt and kind of just power through them. Even though I will be reading Assassin's Blade first, and she wrote that later. But I know like Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, I think is the second one. I know like those first 2 I'm probably just going to have to power through. I don't think her writing will be as high of a standard as it has been in the ACOTAR series, but I am now so excited to read those books. I read Throne of Glass years ago when it like first I'm talking when it first published years ago. So it's been a long while, but I'm excited to get back into it. And then I'm also looking forward to reading her new urban fantasy series, the Crescent City series. Again, I think that's had kind of mixed reviews, but I don't care. I'm just excited. I am thoroughly impressed, and I'm thoroughly enjoying. There hasn't been a moment of unenjoyment for me while reading this book. So, props to Sarah J. Maas for honestly exceeding my expectations with this book. Oh my gosh. A Court of Silver Flames is so big. I just looked at it. Oh my god, so big. But we don't need to worry about that yet. We're not reading that one yet. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this little update because now I'm rambling. I'll catch you all in the next clip. I don't know when my next update will be, but I will update you soon. Okay, bye. Who is ready to talk about another 5-star book? A Court of Wings and Ruin. I don't even know. Where do I even start with this book? 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. This book had me in a chokehold. And it did not let me go for a single second. So when I first posted on Goodreads that I'd finished this, the only thing I wrote in my review was BRB while I process, because I needed to process this book. I have not experienced a fantasy like this in quite some time. I felt like my old reading teen self when I was reading this book, and I haven't felt like that in so long, and I missed it. I missed the emotions that I would feel when reading a fantasy romance. Like, oh, it's actually made me think, and I think I've mentioned this in the vlog already, but I feel like when I started this series, I started it for the wrong reasons, and I kind of forced myself through the 2 previous books. I know A Court of Mist and Fury is like universally known as the best book in the series. I did not get that experience. I still loved it, and if you're curious and you haven't watched it, I have got reading vlogs up. I still loved the book and thoroughly enjoyed it, but compared to A Court of Wings and Ruin, like, I was engaged every step of the way in this book. There wasn't a moment when I felt like it was dragging, or I was getting a bit bored, or that I was kind of not caring about the characters or the story. Like, I did not have that with this book at all. I was just absolutely enwrapped in this world and the characters. Oh my god, the characters. It's like, during Of Court of Mist and Fury, you obviously get the massive found family build up. I felt like, because I wasn't in the right mindset to read that book at the time, I didn't fully appreciate the found family that was formed. But in this book, it's solidified, it's cemented. I just understand. I feel like the experience people have with A Court of Mist and Fury, I had with this book. I think Feyre and Rhysand are just a dynamite couple, and I think their story has been wrapped up very nicely in this book. I'm aware that in the next books we are going to be following, I think A Court of Silver Flames, I believe, follows Nesta, which I am ready for. I love Nesta. I loved her from the start. I loved her from the beginning. And I love her even more now. I just think her character and her character development is just phenomenal. And I really love, and I said this in my Court of Mist and Fury vlog, but I really like how Sarah J Maas writes about trauma and how her characters process trauma. I like it because she doesn't glamorize it and she doesn't shy away from it. I feel like a lot of fantasy romance books, especially fantasy romance books with female leads, tend to glamorize the trauma they've been through, and that's just not okay, and it's not realistic. These characters go through some seriously traumatizing events, and to either just glaze over or shy away would have been wrong. And Sarah J Maas did not do that. She highlighted the trauma, but she did it in a way that was, one, respectful, but also realistic. The plot of this book. So this book has been dubbed the Book of War in this series, which makes complete and utter sense, and I completely understand why it's been dubbed that. I loved it. Beginning, middle and end. I thought the plot was strong throughout. It didn't falter at any point. I was intrigued the whole time. I didn't know what was going to happen. I kind of, like, when I say I didn't know what was going to happen, obviously because there are more books in the series, you know this isn't going to be the end, but there were just many plot points and twists and turns that I just did not see coming and did not suspect. Did I cry multiple times reading this? Yes, I did. Do I think Sarah J Maas did what she did on page 666? 666. I'm just saying, I don't know if anybody else clocked that. If you've read this book, page 666. I mean, you're not slick. You're not sly. I knew it was gonna be okay, but the fact that she did that on page 666, I was gobsmacked. I understand now. I understand why this series is so loved by so many. Each book I've read so far has just gotten better and better and better. I think I rated A Court of Thorns and Roses 3 out of 5, A Court of Mist and Fury 4 out of 5, and now A Court of Wings and Ruin is 5 out of 5. This could have very easily been a trilogy. I don't know if that was Sarah J Maas's first intent to have it as a trilogy, because it's very, like, everything has wrapped up beautifully in this book. This ending is so satisfying. Like, I could stop reading the series now if I wanted and be satisfied. I'm not going to do that. I'm definitely going to continue. Ugh. And this, at first I was so intimidated by the size of this book, but when I was at home, because I started this when I was at home and finished it at uni, at home I was flying through this book, flying through it. I slowed down a bit when I got back to uni, because obviously I was back at uni, I didn't have all the time in the world to read. It has made me realise that I feel like I need to be in certain environments and in a certain mindset to be able to fully enjoy these books. And yeah, so when I continue with this series, because A Court of Frost and Starlight, I think, is the little like in between book, and then A Court of Silver Flames, my copies of those are at home, and I do intend to read the series at home, because I feel like when I'm at home I don't have the distraction of uni and things like that, and I feel like I can fully allow myself to fall into this world and its characters and not have other distractions. But I just thoroughly enjoyed this book, every second of it. I loved the representation as well. The representation in this book was so good, so good. I mean, and the love, the relationships in this book are just beautiful, and I cannot wait for them to be explored in the future books. Feyre and Rhysand, beautiful couple, and their story has been wrapped up beautifully. I cannot wait to explore the other characters' stories and relationships and see how they grow and flourish, because I'm sure they will, and I'm ready. I'm ready for it, and I'm excited. I do want to quickly, I feel like a little running theme for me is to talk about my two boys, Lucien and Tamlin. Lucien, I'm so happy. I was so afraid that he was going to like remain a villain throughout. I was so scared that that was going to happen, and I'm so happy that that didn't happen. I'm not going to go into detail obviously what happens, but I loved him from the first book, and I loved his friendship with Feyre, and I'm so happy that that wasn't taken away, because that would have broken my heart. That would have shattered it into a million pieces. So I'm so happy that didn't happen. Now Tamlin. Because I truly loved him in the first book, A Court of Thorns and Roses. He was our guy, wasn't he, right? We loved him. And in the kind of in the first half of A Court of Mist and Fury, Boy didn't make the best decisions though when it came to his girly Feyre. And then by the end of A Court of Mist and Fury, wanted to chuck the boy off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't our favourite. And he wasn't exactly our favourite through most of this book either. However, am I craving a redemption arc for this boy? You know what, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think I am. I think I would happily read a whole ass book about Tamlin becoming a better, like, because this is the thing, right? And I'm sorry I keep looking, because I'm filming by my window and I keep getting distracted, so I keep looking over here. This is the thing. I don't hate him. Like, I don't hate him. He is a troubled soul who made bad decisions for the wrong reasons, but his heart always seemed to be in the right place. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same with Lucien. Like, they, in their minds, they had good intentions. It just didn't play out that way. And things didn't exactly go to plan. But they had good intentions, they meant well, you know? And I just feel like, a bit of a spoiler, if you haven't read this book, but Feyre f***s him up. Like, she destroys his court from the inside. It's badass. Feyre in this book is just straight up badass, and I love it and I'm here for it. And the way she literally disintegrates the spring court from the inside, it's iconic behaviour and I'm here for it. But at the same time, I feel for Tamlin. Like, he lost the woman he fell in love with, right? And his best friend to the same person. Rhysand was like, yup, I'm gonna just take that, they're coming home with me. And Tam has kind of been left with nothing. Ianthe? Basically, the Amarantha of this book. She's all he had. She is all he was left with, and that's not good for anyone. Yeah, I would read a Tamlin redemption arc. So, to wrap up this very long ramble of how I felt of A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, 5 out of 5 stars, loved every second of it, the best way to start 2023, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the series, and I now cannot wait to read more of her work. Thank you so much for watching this reading vlog and for going on this journey with me. This is now the wrap up of Feyre's journey, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we read from her perspective in A Court of Frost and Starlight. I have no idea. But as far as I'm aware, we are now going to be moving on to Nesta and Cassian. I'm ready. I'm ready for that road. I'm ready for it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and that's all I've really got to say. Love you all lots, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!